So we're now continuing the interview with Madame Joshi, so on 12th of April 2013. And so we were just starting to touch about this question of this like underground current, of things which are kept also separate and hidden, and which have to be protected so that they can be passed on. And only maybe in some circumstances, when it shows that there is some good effect, then maybe women will tell about those things.
So, if you see every point, every message, every habit that you should do this and you should not do this, related to these things, first of all we see that she is not following the morals and the indications given by neither by textbooks nor by pandits nor by the grand savants, the intellectuals. This is the mouth to ear, a message given by her mother, grandmother, her neighbor woman. Sometimes it is not necessary, it might be a woman who has never, because all the information is mostly in dialects. Sometimes there are women and the things which they pronounce, which they say, the stories which they say, if you want to change them completely in Hindi standard, if you change, it will not give the same effect. So even the educated women, when they practice, when they are in front of that god and goddess, they are continuing to follow the same language, the same things. But it is oral, so you can't say that it is a same style, but the story and the message is same. And not only this, we see that there is no festival no festival reserved for a woman where going in the temple is necessary. No. She creates her own god and goddesses according to their image, but not every woman is not imaging a image different. The image given by her mother or by the aged woman of her area, of her circle, she sometimes it is a design, a dessin sacré on the wall, sometimes on the floor, sometimes she is preparing with terre mouillée, pape de terre,
Mud.
some statues. Sometimes it is a cult of a cow with her calf, with the avec le veau. But the stories and all the rituals, all the things which she is offering, it is according to her convenience, her and the message, in the message we see so many times she is showing that you are capable. Don't accept that you are a weak woman. You are strong. You have the competence. If the society gives you 0, there is no story which will encourage you for love marriage. It is not sure that in love marriage you will be successful. If your destiny is not changed, if your effort is not done, but if you do the effort, you are capable to change something which is 0 with 100. So whatever your father, your society, your circle gives you, take it, and then with your own effort, with your own tapasya, with your own competence, capability, change it and show to the society that I am capable of something. I can change my destiny. There are some stories where the father asks to his daughters, are you aap karmi or baap karmi? Aap karmi means you count on your own destiny, or you count on the destiny created by your father. And the girl replies, I am aap karmi. My destiny is in my hands. you cannot change. The father is angry, he is marrying his daughter with a very poor man. The girls, it is in very too much detail, from zero she starts, she changes her destiny and she shows to her father that I am Apkarmi. So this message that you are Apkarmi, you can change your destiny. In other story, in this Tej, which is a very important festival, the goddess Tej, which is Marguji, the arbor of Marguji represents Nimdi, so that's why they say Nimdi Mata aussi. Nimdi Mata is angry and she says, in your destiny you will have a husband, leper, and he will go to a prostitute, he will not be faithful to you. She accepts that, but she continues her penitence, her religious practice, and finally the goddess is feeling so much poids sur son cœur,
weight on her heart.
weight on her, that, oh my God, what I have done, I should change her. No, it is too much. And the same husband is changed, and she shows that I can change my destiny by my own efforts. So in fact, the goddess, not that she is kind and she is accepting, she has to accept, because in front of your penitence, in front of your sacrifice, in front of your determination, if the goddess continue the injustice, if the god continues injustice, he will not have any devotee. And don't forget, he requires devotees to feel his own importance. In the same way, not only that the lessons and morals given by the text sacred, there is no festival where she goes to ask the Pandit how to do. There are only 2-3 festivals where there is a Havan, and only for that Havan ceremony the Pandit is asked to come. Otherwise, all the ceremonies, there is no necessity of presence of the Pandits. Neither husbands. There are some festivals where it is strictly refused to have a male person to see that ceremony. A male, even a child of 1 month, if he is a male child, he should not see this. It shows that this is a woman's own world. And I asked sometimes, but sometimes people think that these are idiot things of the uneducated people, and many persons between you are educated, why don't you say? But no, this is in their favor. In that way, nobody is disturbing their religious practice. Because in every story we see that as soon as the woman is doing a mistake, unfortunately, the sense of justice, for example, if I kill somebody, the judge will not give punishment to my husband. I will be sentenced to death. But in all the stories, she is not losing anything. She is paying by the life of her husband or her brother or her son or her prosperity. And this is very too much. I am doing the mistake and my husband is paying for that. She cannot allow that. And every god and goddess, they are doing this. So their sense of justice of the divine personalities is different. So if I say something, if I lie, I will go in hell. After my death, I am going to hell because I have committed the sin of lying. It is not so bad. But if my husband is dead because of that and I will become, or my son is dead, my daughter-in-law will become a widow and I will become widow. It is more serious. So on any cost, she has to continue even if she does not follow the indications given by the textbooks. Textbook says that you have to take permission. If I ask my husband, should I follow the Karwa Chauth Vrat? And by the way, suppose that he is saying no, what will be the result? The goddess is listening. My husband will die. It is better not asking at all. Even if husband asks, I will say, no, I am not doing it. But you are idiot. What are you pronouncing? These are idiot things. Oh, it is a pleasure for me. In that way, perhaps I am committing a mistake towards my family or my husband. My aim is not bad, so it is not a sin. And God and goddesses will protect my family, and that is more important for me than following the textbook's advice and asking my husband, and if he is saying no, what will happen? You understand? So it is allowed to do without any permission, without announcing to anybody, even in a hidden way. And not following, but she will never say that I am not following textbooks. Even that, textbooks also are related to some gods and goddesses. They can be angry. So why should I say that I don't love somebody, I don't like somebody? I like everybody, but I continue my life according to my concepts. So you will never see a Hindu woman, but even that, not only that, if you see carefully the stories related to Shiv, everywhere image of Shiv is extraordinary. She is not laughing,
making fun of
Shiv. And it is surprising, there are many stories where she is making making fun of sun, Surya. And sun represent Vishnu, it is Surya's Narayana. It is surprising. She is making fun of sun's wife also, Surya's wife also. There is no festival which is festival related to women festivals, where Lakshmi or Sita or Radha Devi becomes important. Most of the parts, either it is a Shakti, Roop of Shakti, or Parvati Gauri. For example, Gangor, for 18 days it is Gauri festival, because Gangor is Gauri. Or it is related, Gangor is related to Holika. These are the pindis of the ash of Holika, which represents Gangor. So Holi and Gangor are directly related. In the same way, when she talks about the stories of Purana, the Puranic personalities, she is not repeating the stories as they are written in the textbooks. And don't say me that they don't know. Because most of the women, they are not working class girls. And especially the aged women who are repeating these stories, they are free because they have their daughter-in-laws to do the work. So most of the time, when there are kathas repeated in the temples by the pandits, they are there. They knows all the kathas by heart. Don't say me that they don't know Ramayana story, they don't know Mahabharata story. They are. If you go in the temples, you will see so many aged women. And these are the aged women who are guiding the young generation of the women during this cult. And still in their songs, in their stories, these Puranic stories are sometimes completely changed. For example, you can take Ramayana. If you see the story of Ramayana in the Ramayana of Tulsidas, Valmiki, when you speak about Sita, Tulsidas is not talking about Sita's exile, Sita's exile,
Exile.
Exile. Why? Because Tulsidas he considered himself always Ram's servant. A servant should never criticize his master. So Tulsidas' bhakti was Dasya bhakti. So Tulsidas in very few sentences he said everything was very good when Ram was king. His wife Sita had 2 children and everything was okay. He is not talking about Lavkush Kant. Valmiki, he was not completely servant. He was a rishi, different sentiments. So he is talking. According to the Ramayana of Valmiki, a washerman was responsible for Sita's exile. But if you enter in the details, Valmiki has not written this thing in the same way. But if you enter in the oral literature, sometimes you can have these examples in Ram Lila, sometimes in the songs sang by the women, songs related to Ram or story of Ram and Sita, songs of different parts of India, songs of Ayodhya, the popular songs, folk songs, which are sang very often by the women, or the songs of Bhojpuri language or Maithili language or Rajasthani language. In those songs, in the popular, for example, Mr. Shambar, Mr. Jean-Luc Shambar, professor of civilization, has written some articles on the Procès de Sita, how Sita was exiled, what happened, and how she passed her life. And there the stories are different. It is represented in a different way. And there we see that the public mentality, they don't want hypocrisy, artificiality. There sometimes the things are told as they feel. So these are not the same stories. It is the analysis, the way of description is different. For example, in Rajasthani, for example, for the exile of Sita, the question who is responsible for that? There are different versions. According to one version, it was a Dhobi. But sometimes this question comes to the mind. Dhobi's opinion was so important. Dhobi told that he has some doubts in the morality of Sita, and Dhobi's opinion, Dhobi's feelings were given so much importance. Why nobody asked Sita? Why Sita was also Ram's population. She was a person of that population. Sita has not, nobody asked Sita, what do you think? Are you really culpable? And according to many versions, when Sita was exiled, she was not informed of the reality. According to one version, Ram asked, you are pregnant, what is your desire? And this is a custom in a Hindu community, when a woman is pregnant, I don't remember, it is perhaps in 8th month or 7th month, you ask the woman, what do you want? And her desire should be fulfilled, otherwise the child will have some defects. So Sita thought that if I go in the forest, I will see so many rishis, that Gyan, my child will have, he will listen and he will be a good child. So she told, I want to visit some ashrams. And Ram accepted immediately. But in fact, Ram was thinking to exile her. So Ram lied. Ram asked Lakshman, you must not say the reality. She was thinking that I am going in the forest for a visit to the ashrams, and no, she was left in the forest, in a deep forest. According to another version, it was Ram's sister who asked her how was Raman, because she was thinking that no, it is not possible that she has not seen Ravan carefully. And Sita was a very good painter, so she made a design and she showed her brother, see, this is the reality of your wife. According to another version, Bharat's mother, Ram's stepmother Kaikeyi, was still a little bit jealous of her, and she asked her how was Raman. He should be very strange. Sita painted Raman's image and she showed Ram, this is the reality. And Ram has given her death sentence. But in fact, death sentence given to a family member, it is not necessary to kill that person. You cut all the relations with that person. It is symbolic death sentence. So Ram announced death sentence, and in fact, exile of Sita was a symbolic death sentence to Sita. You enter deeply, and it is when you talk to the two different persons of different women of different parts, if you collect all the feelings, you will see that according to some songs, some oral literature, sometimes we see that Ram was a very democratic king, and he was respecting feelings of the people, etc. But what was the feeling of a wife? And if you see, for example, the Bhojpuri songs, you will see that in some songs, these songs dare to say the things which in the textbooks, at least I have not found the same types, and which is very near to the reality. For example, in one song, Sita had a child, and she wants to send this message that I had a son. She says to a crow, on the corbeau in French, you go, because in the forest there is nobody else. So she says to the corbeau, go and give this good message to my in-laws. They are old. Tell them that they have a grandson. Tell to my brother-in-law, Lakshman, that your nephew has come. Means for a partner for the heritage has come. Ram's throne is not for your children. Don't be in illusion. Indirectly, this is the message. And this song, in some songs, it is said, as far as Ram, this Sepesher, Papi, who has committed a sin, don't inform him that he had a son. Any woman who is exiled by his husband and saying that she is immoral, this is a woman, a normal woman cannot pardon, ne peut pas excuser ça, ne peut pas oublier, she cannot forget at least. Perhaps she will not give any punishment, but how can she forget? Because killing a woman is not so bad. A woman, if she is died before her husband, at least he will not be proved who is committed sin, because she is dead before her husband. And silently, Sita is died. She was ill, she was not feeling well. Perhaps it was easier for Sita. Perhaps it was easier for Sita than to be known by the whole world that she was, I will not say completely immoral, but for her there was a doubt that she was immoral.
A little stain.
A little stain. At this age, she was not a girl of 25 years. Imagine. She was first time pregnant because for 14 years she was in the forest. Otherwise, that was a woman of a certain age. Even if she was immoral. A woman who is immoral, completely immoral. Whatever you want to say, you will say while she is young. But when she is of 60 years, perhaps you will have a feeling of kindness. Let her live her life. After a certain age, putting a woman mettre à la porte, that you are treated, there is doubt that you are immoral. Even my blanchisser, my washerman is considering like, I cannot keep you in the... And lying, she didn't have the possibility of explaining. When the children were of 12 or 13 or 14 years, at the moment of the Ashwamedh Yajna, when Ram wanted when Valmiki has written already Ramayana, and when Valmiki explained that she is pure, and Ram told her that, okay, you give me a proof that you are pure, and I will accept her. You have to give a proof. That's the moment when Sita entered in the earth, because as proof she prayed the goddess earth that if I am pure, if I am a woman of virtue, give me a place inside you. What does it explain? Perhaps Sita didn't accept to live with that husband. Perhaps. Or you can say, why Ram has not asked before 14 years, when she was pregnant, okay, Blanchisser, you are saying that my wife is immoral, bring Sita in my court of justice. Sita, if you are pure, you have already proved in the forest. It was the Agni Pariksha, épreuve de feu. But there was no, my subjects, my ministers were not there. Again, second time, please, either you have to prove or I will exile you. No. Why 14 years before he has not asked this thing? He has not given a chance to Sita to give a proof in front of the public of Ayodhya. If she was pure after 14 years, she was pure before 15 years also. But she was not given this possibility.
And I think you told me once that this may be related because Ram himself was a little afraid that he may have some stain on himself.
No, but if Ram has given this possibility to Sita before 14 years, and if Sita has proved in front of whole public before 15 years, then there was no question of stain. Then, so we have to think, there are so many possibilities only. Was there some manipulation? Was Ram thinking that if Sita stays in the palace, something will happen with my children? Was perhaps Ram and Sita were manipulating this exile to save their children? One possibility. Sita, I will not say anything. I will show everybody that I am exiling you. Please go. Hide your real name. Because Sita never told to, except Valmiki, nobody was knowing that she is Sita. She has taken the name of one Devi. And nobody was knowing that they are the real children of Ram. Perhaps they have felt some danger in the palace for some reasons. The second possibility, perhaps Sita, when Sita knew that the Blanchis, the washerman, it is not only washerman, there may be other people also, and my husband, who is so important, I am a black stain in his glory. Why should I not?
Why not retire?
So perhaps Sita has understood and she shown that I don't understand. But in fact she knew, perhaps. Third possibility, that really Sita was not, she didn't knew, she didn't understand. But somebody else was willing to have some advantage of their foyer brisée.
Of their broken
Their family life. Imagine other possibility. If Sita was not so strong, she could have died in the forest. No dynasty of Ram, no children of Ram, and in that case, somebody else would have taken advantage, because there will always somebody who will rule and whose sons, you have to think yourself. Bharat, already once exiled because of Bharat. So Bharat, I don't think he would say, Ram Napa Dafa, Ram doesn't have the children, my children will take this advantage. No. Bharat will never, I don't think Bharat will dare to say this. Shatrugna was this youngest, so he has no chance. But Lakshman, whose image was extraordinary image. Lakshman is the right hand of Ram, who went in the forest for 14 years. He is like his son. So if Sita's children were dead, who will take advantage of this? I don't know. But there are so many possibilities. If you forget that Ram was a Vishnu and a God in a normal family, because Ayodhya's kingdom riches was very important. There is another thing very strange. Bharat was not, because when a woman is in difficulty, who comes to help her? Sometimes nobody. You are married, you have to face your difficulties, and the parents and in the paternal family, sometimes they don't come, they don't interfere. You have to solve your problem and stay there, because leaving the husband's house is not good for. So you have to stay there. So but sometimes paternal family helps. So if somebody was in this situation of helping her, it was Janak, because Sita didn't have real parents. That was a child during her childhood thrown by somebody, perhaps thrown by nature, or thrown by, if you think that she was the daughter of Earth, the Mother Earth. Why Mother Earth has not grown up her? No, she was given to Janak. So Janak has raised her. So her parents were Janak and Janak's family. Janak, was he in the possibility to say something against Lakshman? Sita was an adopted child. But Janak had a real daughter also, who was Urmila. And Lakshman was Urmila's husband. And Lakshman was a very strict husband, who left his young wife during 14 years to Ayodhya. He has not taken his wife with him. And he passed 14 years without his wife. You have to wait. I will come back. So Lakshman is not a man who, I can't live without you, my darling. No, he is a real Kshatriya, strong Kshatriya. So already 14 years his daughter had to wait her husband. Now Lakshman has come back. Hardly some time is passed, and again if I do something against Lakshman, if he is angry against my daughter, that your father dared to disturb me, what will happen to my daughter? So, will he give importance to his adoptive daughter or his own daughter? So, will he dare to say something against Lakshman? Because it is a question of his own daughter. Normally, I don't talk about the rishis and Mahamunis and Janak. He was considered as a great rishi. Even then, I will say, when it is your own daughter, there is some sentiment, some weakness. So, and if you think, if I have an adoptive daughter, she will go, she is pregnant, what will happen to her? But if she is no more, she is expiring, then who will have advantage? If she goes, my real grandchildren are having this advantage. Will my wife, I am talking about Janak, will his wife allow him, listen, our real grandchildren, because Lakshman's wife was also pregnant at that time. So, if you think this is story and you don't forget that they were incarnations, they were the gods, if they are simple persons, simple human persons, in that case I think if I am Janak's wife, I will say my husband, listen, think about my own daughter, think about my grandchildren, you should not interfere, whatever is. Otherwise, in the story of Ramayana, in the episode, etc., they have changed the story exactly. But if there are other possibilities also for the analysis, that all this story, and if you see in the popular songs, especially because songs are sung by the women's songs, women's popular songs of many areas, you will see that Sita is not like Karwa Chauth, like Teej Mata. There is no festival where Sita is receiving cult. But still, in popular songs, in the feeling of a woman, Sita is a symbol of a daughter-in-law who suffered from injustice whole of life. Women are not considering Sita as a cheap woman. And if you see most of the songs, I have not read all the songs, I will not say all the songs, but most of the songs, you will feel that it was an injustice. Why they have not only other things. After 14 years, Ram is saying, you have to prove that you are pure. Before 15 years, before sending her in the forest, Ram could have asked, come in my court of justice. Either you prove or you go. No. Silently, she is exiled. Because it was a question of purity, immorality before. Were you immoral with Raman? This was the question. Second time, was it a question Was it a question related to Valmiki also? Imagine what was that, her age. Her children were of 14 years. Marriage, sometime after marriage, for 14 years in the forest. Calculate all the age. Then again, at least some months in the Ayodhya. Then again, 12, 13, 14 years. And what a children. Her children were, only 2 children were capable to beat whole army of Ram. If Sita was Meshant, mean, she could have asked her children, kill them. Only because this is not the mentality of a responsible woman. She will kill herself. Again, this is the sentiment of sacrifice. Because woman has come in this world for protection, not for destruction. If you see the system of Balidan, the Bali, sacrifice, in the temple, for example, you can say that there are some goddesses who receives sacrifice. But in the custom, in the kutyum, if you see, the coconut represents a human being or a child. It is not allowed to a woman. It's enter the la femme, the kase anuva the coco.
It's not allowed to break the coconut for the woman.
Sometimes you will see that I have seen, perhaps that woman is not, she does not know this custom. Otherwise, break a coconut or a pinda, certains forment des triangles, une forme de petit mot, préparé avec certaines farines, for certaines pujas, certains cultes. Pinda représente un être. Et pinda est cassé avec un couteau. It is broken by or épée, talwar, sword. It is always a male, a man who will do it. A woman will never do it. You can say that she eats the meat. Yes, she eats the meat, but she does not kill. Because in fact, so even in a coconut, breaking a coconut is refused for a woman. It is say antardi. Kasya pinda antardi. Dale tapl ke liya when there are sacrifice during the Navratri season, there is always the king was coming or the Purohit will come. They will cut the throat of that bakra, goat or other animal, but not a woman. So woman has come in this world to give birth, not to take the life. She has come in the world to give life. That is the aim, that is the responsibility given to a woman by God. So Sita's duty was not to take life of somebody. Otherwise, imagine, don't say mix that Sita was so weak. Before 14 years perhaps she was very weak. Suppose for one moment she was really immoral, she was, perhaps mentally she thought, but if you think, you need not to go up to the story of Dhobi. Even before, either you don't believe in all these lessons, morals given by textbooks or by the oral literature, you have to cut them, or you believe strongly. Everything says that if a woman is unfaithful to her husband, if she is immoral, her husband will die. She will become widow. Ram has killed Ravan. If Sita was immoral, so who protected? Because the Sat, the morality, virtue and Shastrate of a wife protects her husband. And that's why in the story of Tulsi, the Tulsi plant, in the story of Tulsi, in fact Tulsi was wife of a demon named Jalandhar. Tulsi was so faithful, so grand, so big, so important Sati that it was not possible for the gods like Vishnu and Shiv to kill Jalandhar. Because a Sati cannot become widow. So how to kill her husband? And Jalandhar knew that nobody can kill me. So Jalandhar was doing napartukva. He was a very cruel demon. And you know what happened? Then they thought, the gods thought, what, you have to do something because it is necessary to kill Jalandhar. Vishnu was metamorphosed. He became Jalandhar. Il s'était déguisé en Jalandhar, si vous voulez. He went to Vrinda. Vrinda thought that he is my husband. He passed some time with Vrinda. Her purity was finished, and Jalandhar was killed because Vishnu Ramju impure. And then when Vrinda knew the reality that he is Vishnu, he is not my husband, he is il est déguisé comme Jalandhar, she has thrown a curse that your heart is like a stone, so you will receive the cult in the form of a stone. And that is the origin of Shaligram. But Vrinda was so beautiful, so charming, and whatever Vishnu has done was not a thing to be proud. So Vishnu told that, okay, I accept your curse. I accept your curse, but in that case, I will become a stone of the river Gandaki, and you will become river Gandaki. So all the stones of Shaligram, which they appear with the stones which represents Vishnu, they are stones coming from the river whose name is Gandaki. And so Tulsi, after throwing this curse, she decided to become Sati, and elle s'est incinérée avec son mari, avec Jalandhar. When in fact her name was Tulsi, not Tulsi, her name was Vrinda. When Vrinda was turned into ashes, Vishnu has become so mad that he has become really, he started behaving like a mad. All the gods thought what to do. We have to do something. Then Vishnu's wife, Lakshmi, Shiva's wife Sati, and Shiva's wife and Brahma's wife, all the three goddesses came, and in the ashes of Vrinda they put some grains. But Lakshmi was not happy because her husband was mad for another woman. So it was, the seeds were put on with a sentiment of jealousy. And these seeds, the plant which was grown up by these seeds has become Malti. It is a type of jasmine, and it is you are not allowed to offer Malti flowers to Vishnu even today. Brahma's wife Savitri's grains, when this was a plant, it was Amla Vriksh, Mirabola in French, and Mirabola is always considered to be a secret, is une plante sacrée.
Sacred plant.
Arbre sacré.
Secret tree.
And the grains which were put by Shiva's wife, they were transformed. The plant was Tulsi. So Tulsi is Vrinda. And when Vishnu was cursed, he told that your body will become river Gandaki and your hair will become plant Tulsi. So Tulsi represents hair of that goddess. But Vrinda was so beautiful and Vishnu was so charmed that he told that, okay, I accept your curse. I will be Shaligram, but you will be always on my heart. So always place the Tulsi. That's why Tulsi is called Hari Priya. And you see in the Somvati Amavasya, there is a marriage organized by a chief of the family, a woman. She can be a widow or married. The widowship has no importance. She is allowed to do this, but in fact, this is a remarriage of a widow. You understand? In the same way, we restart the story of Sita. When the woman is talking in her songs or in her stories about the Puranic stories, there the version is changed. And the version, in that version, if you see carefully, it is according to her imagination. Either it explains that it might be this thing, or sometimes it explains that it should be something. And sometimes she proposes some solutions how Ram should have done. For example, in my thesis, these are so many songs and so many things, so I couldn't put everything. But for example, in Rajasthan, there are not so many songs. There are some songs, but not so many songs related to Ram. In Rajasthan, it is Shakti, which is much popular. So many songs of other goddesses and Shitla and Dashamata and Gaur, etc. But very few songs where she is talking about Ramayana. Not only this, in fact, if you see all these festivals reserved for women, there is no festival where Lakshmi or Sita or Radha becomes so important. Even for Diwali. In fact, Diwali is a festival of husband and wife. It is not a festival only for women. So you can't say. But there is a story. There are some stories, some stories which are repeated by the woman. Again, this is the same thing. This is not a glory of Lakshmi. This is a mortal woman who obliges Lakshmi to fulfill her wish. I will not say to obey her. May obey her antragi mein. For example, in one story, there is no light. Lakshmi has come. It is Diwali, and the woman. It is a long story. The woman asked the king that we should have only 2 lamps in the city. Either in your palace or in my house, whole city should stay in dark. The king was obliged to fulfill that wish because of some reasons. Lakshmi comes and whole city is dark. Where to go? So Lakshmi is not habituated to dark, so tomb, she falls down, her clothes are
torn apart.
And she is still, please, you open your door. Why? Who are you? I am Lakshmi. I have nothing to do with Lakshmi. Listen the dialogue. And these dialogues and these things are not written in the books because there is a resume. You understand? And these dialogues are very, according to the women I have interviewed, it is important. These are the messages. I have nothing to do with Lakshmi. But listen, where to go? Go to the king. But king has so much money. He will not pay attention to me. I will not have any respect there. It is nothing important for him. Please open your door because there is no other lamp in the house, in the city. No. Finally again Lakshmi comes back. You want to come to my house as my mother-in-law? Yes, of course. Go back. I don't require you. I don't require a mother-in-law who will dominate me. Lakshmi goes, she is not opening the house. Again Lakshmi comes back. See, please, open your door. You want to come to my house as my daughter or daughter-in-law? As daughter, of course. No, because daughter will leave your house. She will go with her husband. I don't want a Lakshmi temporary. Again Lakshmi comes back. It is about morning. Whole night is passed. Lakshmi is tired, in very bad condition. The way they are, Lakshmi's teeth are broken. It is an image, horrible image of Lakshmi in the story, which is not written in the textbooks. Please open your door. You want to come to my place? Like a daughter-in-law? Yes. A daughter-in-law is faithful to the family. She will think about the prosperity of this family. She will not leave your house. She opens the door. Come, if you are my daughter-in-law. So Lakshmi is becoming daughter-in-law of a mortal woman. Do you think that the textbooks are giving the same image of Lakshmi? So again, this is a description of the capability, of the ability, of the ruse. The tule tur mala. It is a woman, Nari Kaushal, ability of a woman, and giving her this confidence that you are intelligent, you can change the world, you have the capacity, don't fear. In the same way, there are some songs which are related to the story of Ramayana and Mahabharata or Shravan Kumar or these things, which when there are mass snans, means fasts for 1 month, or Navratri snan, the women go to the, in group they go about 4 o'clock in the morning, they go to the river or lake for a bath. And at that time they sing those songs.
And so we will discover these songs after a little break. So just we have to change the tape again. So thank you very much and meet you again in a few minutes.
No, it's a pleasure to have a discussion with you.
And we learn a lot. And we enjoy the stories.
No,
also.
I also, whenever I am with somebody like you, or the students, my students or some professors, every time there are so many things on which normally when we are alone, because I am Indian, so on some points we don't think. Say during the discussion that we think, it is like this also. So it is a chance for me. C'est une chance pour moi d'avoir la possibilité de discussion avec les gens comme vous, comme le professeur Alan.
So thank you. So we'll just continue in 1 minute.